Honorable Chair, Argentina believes in the importance of addressing climate change and human rights. Argentina recognizes the impact of climate change on vulnerable communities and emphasizes the need to climate justice and equality.
The next speaker is the delegate of Australia.
Honorable Chair, Australia acknowledges the urgent need for climate action and emphasizes the importance of protecting human rights in the face of climate changes. We support the development of climate resilient infrastructure and the promotion of sustainable agriculture practice. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Is there a point of order in the China? Yeah.
Honored Chair, the delegate of Australia is exceeding the limit of time. Thank you, Honorable Chair. In conclusion, Australia views developing nation to support developing nation in their climate adaptation efforts. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
The next speaker is the delegate of Bangladesh.
Honorable Chair, Bangladesh highlights the devastating impact of climate change on our nation, including rising sea levels and extreme weather events. We urge the international community to protect climate funding and support the vulnerable nations.
Delegate of India.
Honorable Chief, the delegation of India emphasizes that climate change threatens basic human rights, including food, water, and health. Developing countries face the greatest challenge despite contributing less to global emissions. India supports international cooperation and sustainable solutions to protect vulnerable communities. Thank you.
Delegate of Brazil.
Honorable Chair, Brazil emphasizes the importance of protecting the Amazon rainforest and promoting sustainable land use practices. We urge developed nations to support our efforts to conserve the Amazon and promote climate resilient agriculture. Thank you.
Yeah, France, you are recognized.
How does Brazil plan to address the issue of deforestation? Brazil is committed to reducing deforestation and promoting sustainable land use practices. We urge developed nations to support our efforts. Thank you.
The next speaker is the delegate of Canada.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, in conclusion, Canada argues developers to support developing nations in their climate adaptation there. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Next. Delegate of Canada, అయిపోయిందమ్మా. China.
Honorable Chair, the delegation of China acknowledges that regions such as Hebei province and major cities like Beijing have faced severe air pollution, disproportionately impacting vulnerable communities. These challenges are the consequence of rapid industrial growth, but China is taking decisive action through aggressive pollution control measures, green energy transitions, and strict environmental regulations. We firmly believe that environmental justice must go hand in hand with development, and China remains committed to leading impactful, large-scale solutions for a cleaner and more equitable future. Thank you.
Egypt.
Honorable Chair, Egypt water security is closely linked to the Nile River, which provide all the majorities of our country fresh water resources. Climate change and rising sea level in Nile Delta region, where the coastal flooding and saltwater intrusion affect the agriculture. In response, Egypt invests in water conservation, irrigation, modernization, and desalination projects. Our government also expanding renewable energy, particularly solar energy in desert region. Egypt believes that protecting water resources and ensuring fair access to them is essential for environmental justice. Thank you.
France.
Honorable Chair, the delegation of France recognized that even developed nations face challenges such as aging water infrastructure and pollution in rivers like the Seine. Globally, over 2 billion people lack safe drinking water. France is committed to international aid, sustainable water policies, and innovation to ensure universal access to clean water and sanitation. Thank you.
Germany, India, Indonesia,
Honorable Chair, the delegation of Indonesia believes environmental justice is a matter of fairness and human rights. Developing nations face greater environmental challenges despite contributing less to global pollution. Vulnerable communities are also most affected. Indonesia urges strong global cooperation, sustainable practices, and shared responsibility to ensure a just and healthy future for all. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Japan,
Honorable Chair and fellow delegates, Japan facing increasing climate-related disasters such as Cyclone Alfred, particularly in coastal and low-lying areas like Tokyo and parts of Honshu. Our nation has invested highly in advanced disaster management system and resilient infrastructure to protect communities from these threats. Japan also maintains very high standards of water purification and sanitation to ensure public health. Furthermore, Japan continues to develop innovative technologies in renewable energy and energy efficiency. We believe technological innovations and global cooperation are essential for protecting environmental sustainability. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Mexico,
Honorable Chair, Mexico supports regional climate cooperation and emphasizes the importance of protecting human rights in the face of climate change. We use development nations to support our effort. They promote climate resistant agriculture and sustainable energy practices. Thank you.
Morocco, Netherlands,
Honorable Chair, much of the Netherlands, including areas like Rotterdam and Amsterdam, lays below sea level and faces flood risk. While we have strong defense, we recognize that many nations lack such protection. We emphasize global collaboration to support vulnerable regions. Thank you.
Nigeria, Pakistan,
Honorable Chair, Nigeria highlights the devastating impact of climate change on our nation, including oil supplies and gas flow. We agree the international communities to provide climate funding and support to vulnerable national rights. Thank you.
Pakistan,
Honorable Chair, Pakistan stands today as one of the most climate vulnerable nations, contributing less than 1% of global emission yet facing several consequences. Climate change has devastated vulnerable community in Pakistan. Recent floods has displaced millions, destroyed houses and left families, especially women and children, without basic security or shelter. This is a direct violation of fundamental human rights. Pakistan calls upon the global community to ensure fulfill financial commitments and support vulnerable nations. Thank you.
Peru, Qatar,
Honorable Chair, Qatar emphasizes the importance of water security in 8 regions and supports the development of climate resilient infrastructure. We are developed nations to support our efforts to promote sustainable water management practices. Thank you.
Russia,
Honorable Chair, Russia faces environmental injustice in industrial regions like Norlis, now for severe pollution and across Siberia, where climate change and permafrost thaw impact local communities. We stress the importance to sustainable policies and cooperations. Thank you.
Saudi Arabia,
Honorable Chair, Saudi Arabia supports climate adoption funding and emphasizes the importance of protecting human rights in the face of climate change. We are UN developed nations to support our effort to promote climate, agriculture and sustainable energy practices. Thank you.
South Africa.
Honorable Chair, the delegation of South Africa knows that regions like the Western Cape, particularly Cape Town, have faced several droughts and water crises, while rural provinces like Eastern Cape struggle with food insecurity. Climate change is deepening inequality. We call for global climate financing and sustainable solutions to protect vulnerable communities. Thank you.
Sri Lanka.
Honorable Chair, the delegate of Sri Lanka would like to highlight that island nations are particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change, rising sea levels and extreme weather events, threatening coastal communities and eco-stability. The delegation of Sri Lanka believes that international cooperation, sustainable development strategies and stronger environment policies are essential to address these challenges. Thank you.
Sweden.
Honorable Chair, Sweden faces climate impact in the Arctic North, particularly Lapland, where warming affects ecosystems and indigenous Sami communities. Forest regions also face increasing wildfires. Sweden remains committed to global climate leadership and protecting vulnerable populations. We urge developed nations to take the lead in reducing emissions and supporting developing nations. Thank you.
Turkey. United Arab Emirates.
Honorable Chair, UAE emphasized the importance of climate innovation and technology sharing, supporting the development of climate resilient infrastructure. We urge developed nations to support developing nations in their climate adaptation efforts. Thank you.
Iran.
Honorable Chair, Iran advocates for regional climate partnerships and emphasizes the importance of protecting human rights in the face of climate change. We develop nations to support our efforts to promote climate resilient agriculture and sustainable energy practices. Delegate of Iran yields the remaining time to the delegate of Canada.
UK.
Thank you, delegation of Iran. Canada emphasizes the need for binding emission targets and climate justice. We support the development of climate resilience infrastructure. Thank you.
Vietnam.
Honorable Chair, Vietnam faces severe impacts in the Mekong Delta, where rising sea levels and salinity intrusion threaten millions, and in cities like Hanoi, where air pollution affects vulnerable population, Vietnam calls for urgent global action. Thank you.
India.
Honorable Chair and fellow delegates, the delegate of India would like to emphasize that climate change has a direct impact on the livelihoods and rights of vulnerable communities. Farmers, coastal populations and economically weaker groups are among the most affected. The delegation of India believes that stronger international cooperation, sustainable development policies and support for developing countries are necessary to reduce the impact of climate change and protect human rights. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, delegates. If anybody are remaining delegates, please raise your placards. Okay. Norway.
Honorable Chair, Norway recognizes environmental concerns in the Arctic region, particularly Svalbard, where climate change is rapidly affecting ecosystem and coastal communities. We remain committed to global climate leadership and environmental justice. Thank you.
Maldives.
Honorable Chair, in the Maldives, low-lying islands such as Snape and Edward face rising sea levels and coastal erosion. Entire communities risk displacement. For us, climate change is not a defeat rate, but an immediate crisis. We urge urgent global action to safeguard small island nations. Thank you.
Ethiopia.
Honorable Chair, Ethiopia faces severe water security with many rural communities walking long distance for unsafe water. Frequent droughts and limited infrastructure worsen the crisis, leading to health issues. Ethiopia urges international support, sustainable development and urgent investment to secure clean water and sanitation for all. Thank you.
UK.
Honorable Chair, the United Kingdom prioritizes climate funding for water-scarce regions and emphasizes the importance of protecting human rights in the face of climate change. We urge developed nations to take the lead in reducing emissions and supporting developing nations. Thank you.
Anybody remaining? United States.
Honorable Chair, the delegation of United States highlighting environmental injustice in regions like Flint, Michigan, where communities face the severe water crisis, and Kansas, LA, Louisiana, where industrial population disproportionately affected minority population. We are committed to address these inequalities through stronger environmental regulation and clean energy investment. Thank you.
Nepal.
Honorable Chair, Nepal's Himalayan region, including areas near Everest and Annapurna faces melting glaciers and glacial lake outburst floods. This threatens downstream communities. Nepal urges immediate global action to protect vulnerable mountain populations. Thank you all.
Papua New Guinea.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, Papua New Guinea recognizes climate change as the greatest threat to our people and our future. Rising sea levels, extreme weather, and loss of biodiversity are already affecting our communities, livelihoods, and food security. We call for urgent global action, stronger emission reduction, increasing climate finance, and support for vulnerable nations. Climate justice must remain at the center of our efforts. The time to act is now. Let us work together for a sustainable and secure future. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. The time for this moderated caucus has elapsed. The moderated caucus is now closed. Are there any points or motions on the floor? India.
The delegate of India would like to move into the unmoderated caucus for timing
You have
15 minutes.
The motion is in order. Are there any seconds? We will now move to voting. All those who are in favor of the motion, please raise your placards. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes. We will now move into an unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes. Delegates, this is the time for discuss, form groups and write resolutions. In this session, you can use the electronic devices to work on working papers.
Honorable Chair,